Before we get started, I'd like to invite Pastor Christopher Broadwell up to provide a small invitation for us in this project.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Chris Broadwell. I serve as the pastor at Eastport United Methodist Church. We've been honored to be neighbors for more than a century. So it's a really special thing to come here for this moment in time. This is a sacred space. This is a place where we honor the brave souls who have dedicated their lives to service. Those who have modeled what it looks like to give their lives. Not just to give their lives in its entirety, day in and day out. So a brief blessing for our time together today. Gracious God, may this memorial park serve as a lasting tribute to their courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. May it be a place of reflection where we remember the lives that they touched and the legacy that they leave behind. As we bless this park, let us invite peace and hope to dwell within its boundaries. May it be a sanctuary of solace for those who grieve, a gathering place for families and friends, and a source of inspiration for future generations. God, may the beauty of this space remind us of the strength found in community and the bonds that unite us. May we carry the spirit of our heroes in our hearts, fostering kindness and bravery, gratitude, and service. We dedicate this memorial park today, and we ask for blessings upon it and all who visit. May it be a beacon of remembrance and honor where stories are shared, memories are cherished, and the spirit of those so very near to us, so very dear to us, lives on. Amen.
Thank you, sir. So let me rewind just a little bit. Some of you guys might not know me. I'm Captain Dallas Lister. I'm in charge of the Eastport Fire Station for the city of Annapolis. So I'm kind of like the coordinator for this place, but I got voted to be the MC for the event, which is pretty cool. We're blessed in a lot of different ways. A real quick history of how we got here and where we are today. September 11th is the biggest fatality of firefighters of any single one incident. So we, as firefighters, regularly remember the things that went on at September 11th. And so the fact that we were able to coordinate and work this out, that it came to happen on the weekend, well, the week of September 11th is amazing for us. And that has been an amazing thing for us in memorial, as well as in just the pride and heroic conduct that firefighters regularly display. This park started out as just like a little mindset of how to try to find a way to remember the people that gave their lives for the city of Annapolis Fire Department. And I'm not sure how each person's going to speak with the presentations, but like there was 3 firefighters that have been killed from injuries sustained, like traumatic injuries sustained over the history of the Annapolis Fire Department since the year of 1900, and then 3 other firefighters have died from cancer related to the job since then. And one of those gentlemen was Lieutenant Josh Snyder, who was one of my best friends. Very wonderful dude. He actually, being younger than me, he actually mentored me in how it was to be, which was crazy, how to be a good man. Strong Christian leader, great man, good, honorable person. So when his time of passing came, I felt like we had to do something to remember him, because I needed every generation after us, after me, to remember that there are good people that come here, and you need to be proud of the good people that come here and work here and support this community. So that's the little dream that started. And then it became magic. And so this park is an organization of three big conglomerations. One, the city of Annapolis, who is represented through Fire Chief Doug O'Malley. Second is the Eastport Volunteers, who is represented through Lee Downing, the president of the Volunteers, and Joe Pilot, who represents the local, which is all the career guys that work for the city of Annapolis Fire Department. So those 3 have come together and made this mission happen. And I'll let each one of them talk to you for a moment about how it happened and how it's come together. So that's a brief overview. We're going to get going, and then we'll start with Chief Doug O'Malley, Annapolis Fire Department.
Thanks, Kat. So he talks about getting this by default. It's not by default. This was, as he was saying, partially his concept, his thought when he came to me. He said, we'd like to do something to recognize the heroes that we've had before us and have worked with us, and heroes for the future that may do something within the future of the department that's always here. And I said, okay, that's fine. What's the thoughts? And
Can't hear you.
it's been that's hard to believe because most people say I'm really loud. So that thought came about and he brought it forward. And the partnership between the Eastport Volunteer Fire Company and the Annapolis Professional Firefighters in the city of Annapolis made this happen. But we couldn't have done it without anybody in this room and the people that came before us. So Captain Lister was the spearhead of this. He doesn't like taking the credit for it, but he stayed on top of this the entire way. The brick donations that came in, I believe, and the captain can tell you if you want to meet him afterwards how this all came about, but the brick donations paid for more than half of this memorial. But along with that came donations from the public that weren't necessarily even brick donations, the City of Annapolis grant and the State of Maryland grant, and we couldn't have done it without any of you to make this happen. And it's been several years. We used to get calls because people would see the sign out front and saying, is there going to be any progress? Is there going to be any progress? I can tell you that a weight's been lifted off the captain here because he's glad to see it. And the landscapers were here as of 7 o'clock yesterday, still putting bricks together. We still have some work to do with it, but it's a beautiful memorial. It's great for the community. The Annapolis Fire Department is a community-based fire department. The Eastport Fire Station is that. We are the Eastport, the community asset in Eastport. They provide first line service to our historic district on Main Street throughout the Eastport area. I grew up in the city of Annapolis. I'm very proud to be the fire chief here. While it's only been a couple years, I can tell you as a young 16-year-old volunteer firefighter, there was a dirt path that came through where everybody that walks by here and going back to the community was into the ground. It's been a few years, I can tell you that. But the landscape today is, I couldn't even have imagined that it turned out the way it has. And Captain Lister and everybody else that's involved with it, it's because of you that did that. The plaques aren't in yet. The plaques will be here, but we had 3 line of duty deaths in the city of Annapolis. I'm here to knock on wood to tell you that I never want to have to deal with that. I've come close. I ask the members of the Annapolis Fire Department to go out here every day and see things that nobody should have to see. They take that home with them. They bear that to heart, and we put them in dangerous situations. We've had some very close calls, but so far we've been able to manage through that, and every firefighter here will tell you that safety is our #1 priority, but we are an inherently dangerous career, and we put them in those positions. We've evolved from a volunteer fire company. Now, the city of Annapolis fire department dates back to the 1900s, maybe even before that, where the city of Annapolis actually bought equipment for the volunteer companies. We used to have a career driver. When I say a driver, operator, this was the person that took care of the horses and got the steamer out from the downtown fire station. And when there weren't any fire calls, he took those horses to take the trash truck around the city of Annapolis. So having career firefighters in the city of Annapolis dates way back to the 1800s. But we've grown through the volunteer organizations, and the 3 line of duty deaths were all volunteer firefighters in the city of Annapolis. The first one was William Brown, who was a member of the Waterwitch Hook and Ladder Company, who died in 1910. It's the first recorded line of duty death of any firefighter in Anne Arundel County. The first one that was recorded. There may have been ones before that, but it's the first one dated in history. He was on a fire on Shaw Street, downtown Annapolis. During those firefighting operations, he fell off of a roof. He had a head injury. They thought it was minor at the time, but he later died from that brain hemorrhage. We moved forward to 1958, firefighter Alexander Johnson. He was a volunteer member of the Rescue Hose Company on West Street. Anybody that knows Annapolis on West Street, bus garage used to be next to it. It's now the hotel. The old firehouse still sits there. I will tell you, as a young volunteer and a career firefighter, that's the favorite station for me to work in before, as I worked through it, just because it was in the downtown area. I will always be part of the Eastport Volunteer Fire Company because that's how I started here at 16 years old. But one day he went on a fire on Shaw Street. during those firefighting operations. He had a cardiac event, and he later passed away at Anne Arundel Medical Center. And then we had a young 16-year-old firefighter who died in 1964. His name was John Swafford. They responded to a warehouse fire on Virginia Avenue, which is off Chickman Mountain Road. That escalated to a 3-alarm fire, brought 150 some firefighters to the scene. During those firefighting operations, 12 firefighters got injured. 3 of them were severe. He was one of 3 members that entered the rear of the building. They actually had canister masks, so they had respirators on, but they were overcome by smoke. All 3 firefighters were in cardiac arrest. They made it to Anne Arundel Medical Center. The doctors were able to save 2 of them who actually became career firefighters with the Annapolis Fire Department, had long careers here and actually retired, and then the young 16-year-old volunteer unfortunately didn't make it. So every year we go out and we do a replaying on their anniversary of their deaths. We do that at the cemetery. Now that we have the Heroes Park, we will continue to do a cemetery event probably on every 5 years, but we will be doing those here along with the 9/11 ceremony, just recognizing the members that have gone before us. But we feel it's very important that we recognize the people that have set the way. When you walk out there, there's 6 stones out there for each career fire chief in the city of Annapolis, starting with Chief Steele. Chief Steele was our fire chief starting in 1964. The second fire chief was Chief Sherlock, who rose through his career in the Annapolis Fire Department. Then Chief Lonergan. I will tell you that our battalion chief on duty today is Chief Lonergan's son. He's here today. Then Jerry Smith was the next fire chief. He actually passed away from cancer also. Cancer has become a very serious concern in the fire service. It used to be cardiac events were the leading cause of deaths for firefighters. Unfortunately, now cancers are moving up there. And some of that is because of 9/11. We continue to lose firefighters who are either still here or passed or retired that were on the pile and have received cancers from that. But with all the plastics and with materials that are made out there, those cancerous materials have caused us concerns. We've learned from every firefighter death. We've increased our turnout gear. I talked about the young volunteer who had a canister mask. We have state-of-the-art fire equipment. We have state-of-the-art firefighting apparatus, equipment, protective gear, and respiratory protection, but we'll continue to learn from each and every firefighter fatality. This is great for the community. Like I said, we are a community-based fire department. You'll see our firefighters today. They're wearing suicide awareness. It's Suicide Awareness Month. They're wearing suicide awareness T-shirts to bring that to everybody's attention, because that is a concern not only for the fire service, for our military veterans, and for people with mental health crisis. So we want to bring that forward. Next month, the firefighters move on to breast cancer awareness T-shirts, so you'll see that. And I would bring that up to let you know we are a community-based fire service. We want you to remember that, and we are here for the community. So I want to thank everybody that's involved here. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Keith. Next, I would like to bring up President Joe Pilot from our local firefighters local to give a presentation. Joe Pilot.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Joe Pilot. I'm president of the Annapolis Professional Firefighters, Local 1926. Thank you for gathering today as we have come together to honor the bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication of our firefighters, military members, and for other first responders within our community. It is a true privilege to stand before you at the ribbon cutting for this cutting ceremony of this remarkable Heroes Park, a space dedicated to the men and women who have given so much to protect our communities. Today, we cut the ribbon on this memorial park not just as a place of beauty, reflection, and community gathering, but as a sacred place. It stands as a tribute to our firefighters and community heroes who have served this city selflessly, rushing toward danger when others ran from it. They embody courage, service, and a profound sense of duty, qualities we hope will inspire everyone who visits the park. The sacrifices of our heroes are woven into the very fabric of our community. Every time a siren blares or a fire engine races down the street, we are reminded of the individuals who risk everything to keep us safe. Some of them have gone before us, and today we ensure their names and stories are never forgotten. We also dedicate this park to the firefighters who continue to serve every day. The men and women who leave their homes each morning not knowing what challenges the day will bring, but who face them with skill, strength, and a sense of purpose. To all of you, our deep gratitude is beyond words. This park will be a place where future generations can come and reflect on what it means to serve. It will tell the stories of heroism, community, and resilience. It will stand as a reminder that real heroes walk among us every day, not seeking fame or glory, but simply to serve and protect. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to everyone who helped make this Memorial Park a reality. First and foremost, Captain Lister, who drew this concept and worked tirelessly to make it happen. Thank you. The Eastport Volunteer Fire Company, their president, Lee Downing, worked side by side with Captain Lister to provide significant assistance through the process. Chief O'Malley, for allowing us to run with the idea and for the support he provides us in every way that he can. The designers and builders, Rick Collins and his crew from Bay Ridge Landscaping, have done an amazing job transforming what was a dirt trail into the beautiful memorial you see today. His guys were here, like the chief said, till about 7 o'clock last night, making sure every detail was perfect. The city of Annapolis, without the support of the city administration, this park would have never come to fruition as well. And finally, to the many donors who bought bricks and gave monetary donations, your generous support led to creating this meaningful space and will leave a lasting legacy in our community. As we open this park today, let this act symbolize more than an opening of a park. It is a declaration of remembrance, respect, and gratitude. May the park serve as a humble, lasting tribute to the brave souls who have given so much. And may it provide comfort and pride to all those who walk through its path. Thank you, and always remember the firefighters who serve and those who continue to serve with such honor and courage.
Thank you, Blake. And the third part of our team here, I would like to bring in Lee Downing as the representative of Eastport Volunteer Fire Company.
All right, so what can I say that hasn't already been said about this park? It seems like everybody already touched on everything that I wanted to touch on. So more importantly to me, I wanted you to know what Eastport did, volunteers did for this project. So leaving a lasting legacy was something that we talked about when we presented this to everybody. And I believe both Chief and Joe talked about that. So leaving a lasting legacy is something I know a little bit about. 4 years ago, Captain Lister and past President John Wardell for the union came and met with our members and asked us to be part of this project, a project that would transform the front of our station into a beautiful place of remembrance through bricks. We were asked to be a part of the project on the financial side. So we were asked to take the money in to help promote and to sell and keep track of all of the bricks, and that is what my company did. Leaving a lasting legacy. We asked our community, our family, our friends to purchase bricks. Those bricks were to honor your heroes as much as to honor our heroes. Each one of you here today has answered that call, bought a brick, and is leaving a legacy of your own here. It has been an honor for our company to be part of this project. It brings us pride to know that we have helped to create a space of remembrance, a space of honor, and a space of peace. A space for all who pass in the community to help us keep the memories of those that we cherish alive simply by saying a name. It is with heartfelt gratitude that we thank our contributors, our donors, our volunteers, each person, every individual, family, and friend for your unwavering support. Your legacy is forever etched in the very fabric of this park. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. So as we get ready to cut this ribbon, I just want to kind of get a little bit of scale for you guys to understand and call out a couple people that have believed in this park as much as I have or even more. This park costs $150,000 plus or minus to build. So that's a pretty sizable amount of money. And as you guys, that everybody in here has contributed with the purchase of a brick, or has made a cash donation, or has worked a fundraiser, or something like that. We got to a point 2 years ago where we were feeling like we were hitting a wall, where we were never going to get this park done, and we didn't think we were going to ever see success. And so we reached out for alternative funding methods. And so that's where some of our state representatives came to play. Senator Sarah Alfred and I met together, and she told me that there was a possibility to find grant funding for a piece of it. So she worked diligently with Dana Jones and the rest of the Anne Arundel County delegation, and they found a way to fund close to 40% of that final number that we needed through a public works grant. And so without that, we wouldn't be here today. The other things that have gone, and that brings me to the person I need to call out more than any person else, is Matt Baker. He is the guy that hides in the shadows, tries not to be seen or heard, and he has literally done all of the fundraising parts of this to make magic happen with applications, grants, letters of intent, research, just an inordinate amount of time to find ways to leverage finances for this program and the volunteers in general, but this program in particular to me. Some of the donors that have believed in this more than I ever thought any single one person would be is the Annapolis Striders Club. They came through and made a $7,000 donation towards the park as a group. That was an amazing event. Not that any gift is more than another, I just want to bring attention to how magnificent some of these gifts are. Sarah and David Hampton, Sarah is a member of the Impact 100 Club in the city, which some of you may or may not know, and they do a grant process every year where you can try to apply for a set number of dollars, and then they go through a contest, and it's like getting voted off the island kind of thing, and then whoever's left last, they get all the money in the pot. So we went through that process 2 times, and we ended up getting voted off the island second to last. So it was unfortunate, very depressing. But we made a good sales pitch, I think, because Sarah and David Hampton, who were members of that group, reached out independently, and through funding of their own, they came up with, I don't want to quote a number, but it was over $15,000 of donation single-handedly to the park to try to get it to the finish line. So I wanted to call out to them. ECA, Eastport Civic Association, has believed in this project since the moment we breathed a word of it out loud 4 years ago. They cut a check within the first 6 months. I think like $3,000 to just get the fundraising started. Just amazing belief in our project. We didn't have a clue of how we were going to make money. So our first year, we decided we were going to do bar nights because we thought that would be a great place to showcase bricks for sale and things like that. So I wanted to reach out and thank the 3 restaurants, bars that participated with it and helped us. Heroes Pub over in West Annapolis held the inaugural event for us. Forward Brewing, they held an event for us and actually brewed a special beer for the first year that they sold through the month of July, I think it was. Turnout, I can't remember the name, but Turnout Beer. And then Davis's Pub, which is on 4th Street. So those 3 restaurants contributed and bought into this community more than anything I could ever imagine. The final thank you that I want to reach out goes to Rick Collins. He knew our timeline, and he's the owner of Bay Ridge Landscaping, which has done the yeoman's work here. He understood what our timeline was. He's worked with us for 4 years and has had this project sitting on his desk somewhere thinking, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. And we touch base every so often. And then we knew we were gonna get there this spring. And so Britt asked, what do we want to do? And we really aimed for this weekend. And I will tell you, Britt has done everything but move heaven and earth to get us so that we're here today. just for timing. It's like, we literally, as the chief spoke of, the bricks that you guys have that are engraved literally arrived in Anne Arundel County on Wednesday. They were delivered to this job site on Thursday. They were being laid on Friday and Saturday. So these guys have done miracle work. So great thanks. It takes the community to make things like this happen. One person can't lift. I know people have called out my name. I just was a thought that made something. You guys have made it happen. Without you guys, it doesn't happen. So again, I thank you all for coming out. Let's go cut a ribbon. I'm going to invite Chief, Lee, and Joe to come cut the ribbon. Please take pictures. Yes, sir.
I would like to take this time to thank everybody involved in the beautiful memorial. And I would also at this time like to thank the members of Eastwood Fire Company for keeping the company going. I've been a member this coming January, December, I will be a member for 68 years. And I worked this station for 17 years. I worked this station for 17 years as a paid personnel. And then I retired in '84. I was injured on a job, on a fire up on Adams Street. I fell down a flight of stairs and injured my neck, and I had to retire. So, but I love the job. It's a great profession, and I thank all of you for making this come about. Thank you very much.